How's it going, everyone? Got quite a lot to talk about in this video. It looks like one shift up. Yes, they're ready to release their first major title on consoles, but it looks like they're already gearing up for their next major project. We'll talk about that. Speaking of shift up, Stellar Blade has gotten a little bit of an update video. The official PlayStation channel uploaded that, and a pretty interesting update for a recently released PlayStation Plus title. Not recently released in the sense that the game actually came out recently, although it was kind of recent, last August, but it recently hit PS Plus, and it's getting a pretty notable update that's very relevant to the game itself, given its issues. But first of all, Shift Up is hiring for a AAA urban sci-fi action RPG. Shift Up, the Seoul-based studio behind Stellar Blade and Goddess of Victory, is hiring for a new cross-platform next-gen project, according to the company's new project recruitment page. The listing notes it is a AAA urban science fiction action RPG cross-platform in reference to console, PC, and mobile. It is built on Unreal Engine. Monsters and creatures will appear. When I initially heard AAA action RPG, I was like, oh, it's Stellar Blade. At least a follow-up to Stellar Blade. But the fact that it is going to be a mobile and console title, that is a little bit interesting. Obviously, Shift Up has been pretty big in the mobile market, and they do also note it's a next-gen project. Does that mean PlayStation 5, or are we talking PlayStation 6 title? Because if we're talking about a game that's going to be in development for 5 to 6 years, I mean 2028, 2029, 2030, at that point you are talking about the PlayStation 6, so it would be a next-gen title. I'm pretty bad about it in the sense that I still refer to the PlayStation 5 as next-gen. Guys, these last 4 years have just gone by so freaking quickly that sometimes I think, man, the PS5 is still next-gen, when in reality we're seeing the limitations of the PS5 really come to the forefront right now with games like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and another console or a mid-gen upgrade might be coming out here shortly with the PlayStation 5 Pro. Nevertheless, a lot of reason to be excited about where they're gonna go in the future with Shift Up. Shift Up is one of those studios that I wonder if they would have conversations with Sony, be a PlayStation-only publisher. I don't think they would be open to an acquisition, but we've seen crazier, and Stellar Blade is certainly an IP that I personally think this game is gonna do exceedingly well on PlayStation 5. The amount of people that I have seen post videos and discussion about this game on my personal Discord. So this is just anecdotes, but people that are very, very casual into certain action titles and whatnot, like people that are into Souls-like games, having Stellar Blade come up on their radar, at that point, that's when I sense a game has hit a different level of audience, where it's not just in the absolute core of the PlayStation audience, it has exceeded beyond that a little bit. And one of my buddies recently, just the other day, posted a video of Stellar Blade, and he was like, yo, you gotta check this game out. And I'm like, bro, of course I know about this game. And I was just surprised, like, if he comes to me talking about a game, at that point I know that game is hitting like a certain audience. And this has happened multiple times, and I have those kinds of friends where I know they're into video games, but they're very much more so on the casual side, where they'll play like an Elden Ring and they'll get into that and they'll play the big game releases. But Stellar Blade I certainly wouldn't put at the level, at least not at this point, of the absolute top tier, most promoted releases that are happening in any given year. But I do think that promotion has been doing really well over the last couple of weeks, and we'll see how that ultimately transpires over the course of the next few weeks when we do get closer to April 26th. But again, I foresee the game doing very well, and I think it'll do exceedingly well once it drops on PC as well. I think this is just a game the PC audience is going to gravitate towards. Speaking of which, Stellar Blade did drop a new little video, an Eve vignette, showcasing some character dialogue from Eve. Meet Eve, member of the 7th Airborne Squad, sent to Earth from an off-world colony to save mankind from the Malevolent. Reclaim Earth for humankind, and Stellar Blade launching April 26th, only on PS5. Remember, there is the free demo that's available right now, so go check that out if you have yet to, and that will be something to sink your teeth into. For now, it's not super lengthy, so you can jump in, enjoy the soundtrack, enjoy some of the gameplay elements, and then move on with your day and look forward to April 26th. Moving on from that, this is pretty exciting. AMD FSR 3 frame generation is coming to Immortals of Aveum in just a few weeks. Now, frame generation, if you're not familiar with it, is a tool that NVIDIA and AMD both have in creating more frames, increasing frame rate while not giving up in performance. I don't know the ins and outs about how all this technology works, but Frame generation increases frame rate up to 2x by generating additional frames. This massively improves how the game presents when in motion. Unlike motion interpolation on your TV, this technology has access to optical flow and motion vectors, meaning the generated frames look significantly better. Also, it intelligently handles static UI and HUD elements. Although not as bad as TV motion, input lag is worse with frame generation enabled, as it takes some time to process the next frame. I've tried frame generation with some PC titles, and my experience was rather good utilizing frame generation, but to be fair, I had used NVIDIA's frame generation that's exclusive to their 4000 series of GPUs. I have yet to utilize FSR 3 frame generation, so keep that in mind. But if this can be another tool to get more performance out of our consoles and more games can implement this, I'm all for it. And if it's something that you have the option to turn off or on, because that option always needs to be there, great. You know, and Immortals of Aveum was a game that one of the main deterring factors about the game, and it's certainly not the only one, was its performance. That resolution dropped pretty hard, so if we can get to a point where we can keep the resolution a little bit higher and also increase the frame rate for Immortals of Aveum, I'm not saying that it'll completely revitalize the game and it'll make it an entirely new experience, but I've been like defending this game. I feel like I've been one of the staunch defenders of this game for the last few weeks, as I see people continuously crap on it in my comment section. Sometimes I think I'm absolutely pessimistic with some of these games. You guys, I feel like you guys are doing Immortals of Aveum dirty. Is it worth $70? No. Is it EA's best outing ever? No. Was it a flop commercially? Yes. But as a title on PlayStation Plus, I really don't think it's that bad of a game. I really think this is like the perfect kind of game to have on PS Plus Essential, and we've seen it before with the Callisto Protocols of the world and so on and so forth, that if a game commercially flops, it can find like a little bit of a second lease. I'm not saying it'll completely reinvent the game or revitalize the game, but expose the game to a new audience, and I think we can do that with Immortals of Aveum on PS Plus. It's available right now. This update will be coming in just a few weeks, so be on the lookout for that as well. But that'll do it for me. It looks like Shift Up is already gearing up for its next project. We'll see what that turns out to be. Stellar Blade gets an Eve vignette video. We'll see how things shake out come April 26th, and we'll see how the overall reception is for the game. But I think people were pleasantly surprised by the demo, and I think the fact that the demo came out, that sparked some more discussion about Stellar Blade in totality, and now I think momentum is picking up as we head into the 26th. That's generally how these things work. These are the few weeks where the real promotional push begins, and that's why you see so many demos usually come out during this period. It just makes sense from a promotional standpoint, but again, I think Stellar Blade, for a new IP coming from a studio that isn't established here stateside, I can't imagine them doing a better job than what they've done with Stellar Blade. And I think it's something that they could look at in the future when you do want to do a new IP from a relatively new studio, because it's a difficult game to get into, but with Stellar Blade, they've done it fairly well. And AMD FSR 3 frame generation is coming to Immortals of Aveum in just a few weeks. Be on the lookout for that. That'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.